Okay, so our next game that we got up is Trials of Innocence. Again, not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. This game released in March of this year. It's on Steam for about 22 Canadian, probably around 17 American. And yes, Sam says Happy Pride Month to everyone out there. I hope that doesn't mean Obtuse is having a bad day of chess. This is the only game by this developer. So far, from the images I saw, it also looks like an Ace Attorney-esque game, but this one looks more courtroom focused, so hopefully we get more actual mystery-solving stuff. It does have voice options in Chinese, Japanese, English, as well as text in all three of those as well. Other than that, just basic audio and message and resolution stuff. Again, possible trigger warnings for murder. I'm not sure what any of these cases will be about, and I don't remember seeing any trigger warnings on the page, but there might be some kind of murder-esque case that comes up. We're going to dive into it. Okay, it's all fake. Sounds good. Whoop. Geez, this looks like a very, like Persona style text box.
什么?
Wait, are we an octopus? That would be kind of cool. August 9th. Wait, it's got auto? Can I turn auto off? Slower message speed so I can click through. Let's try the... I want to hear what the English voice acting is as well.
马上就要开庭了.
It doesn't seem like that's working, so I think we found a tiny glitch. So that's now in English, although that was... Sounds like it wasn't even in Japanese, which is what I had originally. This sounds like it's in Chinese. So it looks like they have a small bug with this voice language menu, or this just doesn't work. But just for the sake, I'm going to switch it to Chinese, exit out of that, go back, switch it to English, and maybe it just like loaded this a little bit. But let's see. No, so I think this is maybe the only voice that's available for this demo. Okay, so we do have murder, so potential trigger warnings for murdery stuff. Also, this guy's eyebrows, I think he's had too much caffeine or he's got like a migraine or something going. Oh, but here we go, we've got our lawyer's license. So we are Luna Ray. This is our ID. We work at Drake and Thomas. We are a full-time lawyer, and we have been since April 2024. So if this game came out in 2025, then we've been a lawyer for only 1 year, approximately. And we're working on the Pine Camel case. So we've got an autopsy report that I'm sure we'll find out is outdated in about 30 seconds. It's a time of death between 3:30 and 5:15 p.m. yesterday. Cause skull fracture. Extensive bruises on back consistent with a fall. Okay. We have a live stream video from 4:57 showing the moment when Plum Swift pushed the victim off. Okay. So it's like a live stream, but it looks like they've just highlighted the important parts. So I guess first thing is it looks like they land on their chest, even though there's reports of injuries to the back. We see a scraped knee. Oh, they're holding like a selfie stick, it looks like. And they were, I don't know how they were writing. Maybe the pen was in their mouth or in a pocket and it shoots out, but they're writing something, and I have no idea what they're writing. This is 6 minutes after they fall. But that fall didn't kill them. They're then seen looking at something off screen. Oh, and it looks like they've set it up somewhere. Okay. They come back later with blood, which they'd already had on their knee, which is their right knee. It looks like that's their right knee. And then we get Octopus thing who comes in and falls. Okay. So we have that live stream, and we've got some people. So this is our boss, Charlie Drake. This is us. So this person is a live streamer who discovered the dead body. Okay. And our friend is a detective novelist who is involved in stuff. Okay.
结果果然刚一闭眼，就开始做乱七八糟的怪梦了。
I like the look and feel of this. It's pretty polished.
你这个样子，真的没问题吗？今天可是你作为律师的第一次出庭啊。
At least the audio here doesn't sync with their
没问
lips.
题，对吧？
So I'm not sure if they've designed the lips to move with either the Japanese or the English audio, which isn't either here or isn't working.
真是服了你了。
Actually, I'm going to quickly look at the game files and see if I can spot resources. Can I see audio files? Voice. Okay, I'm just going to open a random voice one. They're not named in any nice way. It's literally just like a hash or a GUID. So there's no easy way for me to see if there is language-specific ones there. And they're not like nicely done in folders for each language. Okay, let's end this chaotic opening. My name is Luna Ray, a newly graduated lawyer who just returned from studying abroad. This person who appears rough and unreliable, but is actually much more capable than me, is Charlie Drake, the chief of Drake and Thomas Co., as well as my senior and boss. Today marks the first trial of my career as a lawyer. But the situation right now is a bit tricky for a rookie. As for why, that's a long story. Chief, I don't think I can handle this case by myself. Is this just... okay, that's just another way to open this. Okay, it looks like it has controller. I do remember seeing that it had notes. So there is some controller support. I do remember seeing that they have a lot of bugs related to controller support on the demo page. So probably keyboard and mouse is the best way to go about it, at least for the demo. And actually for the main game, since this one is released. Okay, so he's going to be our assistant in court. Okay, so we have to go speak to our client. Okay, so yeah, we're a defense attorney in a murder case. Okay, so we have to go confirm all the details with our suspect. There's the Miles Edgeworth spin-off. It's not quite the same. Okay, so we basically have no defense, and we're gonna make it up as we go because we only have literally this morning before the court case to figure stuff out. Okay, so Plum Swift, our client, is our friend. So this is Butts. Yeah, exactly. Should you not be in, like, police custody or something right now? At least they raised that I guess they probably just didn't want to do another art style of them in handcuffs.
居然每个地方都有发井拔手，好兴奋！
I want to see him put his goggles on.
那边那个正在撒欢的人，就是你的委托人？
当了被告进法庭还这样，确实是他会做出来的事。
The seemingly unnervous person is my senior from college, Plum Swift. After graduation, she worked at a law office for only a short time before transitioning to becoming a detective novelist. Although it's hard to believe, her works are said to be quite popular. Just before getting off work last night, I received a call from her saying she's been arrested on suspicion of murder. Wait, so was she also a lawyer then? Or she just worked at a law office, but she's not a lawyer? Due to the urgency, she had no choice but to entrust me, the lawyer with whom she had the closest relationship. She may be unreliable, but I know she wouldn't go as far as committing murder. Today I'll have to find out the truth and help her clear her name. No time for small talk. Plum, quick, tell me more detail about the case. Yeah, she might have not been a lawyer, but in some other respect in the law. They went to college together, so probably at least she didn't necessarily have to do the bar exam, but she could have done some other legal-esque degree. We barely had a chance to talk before the detention center closed. You only showed me some video screenshots. Okay, that's what we have here. Okay. We couldn't view any more details than that now. Okay. If I hadn't seen those things, I wouldn't have said that nightmare. I wouldn't have had that nightmare just now. Okay, we collected the screenshots as evidence. Let's focus on the case. All I remember is that shocking line. I was dressed up as an evil god and got arrested. Wait. Hold on. So that's her? Okay. We have our lawyer's license. Is that not good enough? Okay. Maybe you should make sure you get off as innocent before you write your new detective novel. Is it normal to dress a bit weird for collecting material? Okay, so she's claiming this person died at the exact time she arrived, and she was there by coincidence, and she was dressed weirdly. Okay. I don't think either of them's normal. Her boss is on my page on this. Is this person really your senior? She doesn't seem like someone who studied the law. Oh no, she's got the look. I feel like she's writing spicy detective novels. The two sisters are reflections in the mirror, indistinguishable from each other, and even modern technology can't tell them apart. They appear like shadows in the night, ready to push the incoming detective into an endless abyss. Plum, your novel is becoming more and more fantastical. Is this still a detective story? Doesn't it resemble the exploring science show we used to watch together? It has been a long time since I have played any Ace Attorney game, so if there's Ace Attorney references in here, I might be missing some of them. And I have not played the Great Ace Attorney yet. That's on my backlog, and a lot of the newer ones I haven't played with the kid. Are you really supporting such outrageous content? Yeah, I've already gathered some information before you arrived. So the prosecutor facing Tay just got their license half a month ago. Feeling a bit easier now? Heard about that too. It's good news for you. Today's trial is a showdown between rookies. That gives me a bit of confidence. That's the spirit. Look, I've even arranged some reporters to cover your debut. What? No wonder there's so many people outside of the cameras. You're the one who called them here, Plum? If I lose, my career will hit rock bottom right after the debut. And if she loses, she's getting the electric chair. Don't worry, this case should be a breeze for you. After all, I'm innocent. I just pushed the victim off and he happened to die. Okay. The plot twist in this one is everyone we're defending is actually guilty, but we have to get them off anyways. What? You're the thing in the video that pushed the victim down? The destined showdown is about to begin with the rookie lawyer pitted against the prosecutor in a thrilling courtroom clash. Wow, how's that line? Wait a minute. What you just said, you didn't mention it at all yesterday. I did? Maybe I forgot. But, court is about to begin. In 1 minute, defense and defendant, please proceed to the courtroom. Oh no, we have no time left. Wow, anyway, I definitely didn't do it, so relax. Good luck, I'm going in now. I know why his eyebrows are twitching now. What a unique client. Time's almost up. Take the few pieces of evidence we have and get ready. Plum's attitude is always different from ordinary people. I can only rely on the few items on hand. Just in case I can browse through the exhibit tab in the top right corner. Okay, yeah, we've already looked at everything. Yeah, and actually, I'm going to quickly look and see if there was discussions about... So there are some issues with the language options. Okay, so apparently, because of budget constraints, almost all voice language is still in Chinese. However, if you switch to English, you'll get certain key phrases like objection in English, is what the developer says on Steam. Yeah, I'm not going to click through any more because like there's some spoiler stuff, and I see the top comment is people were unhappy with the last case. We're obviously not getting to since this is a demo, which is a bit sad because like the production value of this actually seems pretty decent, other than the voice issue. And I mean, with something like this, I actually wouldn't care too much about like fully voice acted. Someone suggested on the forum that if you switch it off the Chinese for voice language, just mute everything so that you don't hear it in Chinese, which is like a reasonable workaround. That probably shouldn't be that hard. But let's see if we can get through this case. We've got about 40 minutes on this game. Still pretty good production value. Very good production value for an indie developer. It's clearly a clone, but I'm happy with it.
辩护方那个已经准备就绪。
老夫想想，哎呀，检控方已经准备好了，应该是这样吧。
This guy had like an end of life crisis, and like he's like, you know what, I'm gonna retire and get one of those like retirement jobs. But in his case, his retirement job is just being a lawyer. Isn't the prosecutor today a rookie who just got qualified half a month ago? How come it's a man as old as my grandpa? Okay, well, I mean, good on you, old man, for becoming a lawyer at, like, the ripe age of 70. Could this be one of those stories where a janitor at the courtroom finally gets qualified after years of hard work? Yeah, okay. There's not voice acting for this stuff as well. So even such an old man has to appear in court. The procuratoriate really fall into such a state. Anyway, focus on the trial. Okay, it's Miss Ray and Prosecutor Hush. Yes, that's right, a Prosecutor Hush. Both the prosecution and defense are newcomers to the field. Whether the defendant in this case is guilty or not will largely depend on your performance. Please do your best. I will. Let's get straight to the point, Your Honor. Very well, seems both of you are ready. Please proceed with the case summary. The prosecution? Me? I'm trying to recall it. I interrupted my thoughts, Your Honor. Now I've forgotten everything. Sorry about that. So what are you going to do now? Wait. Oh, I remember now. Oh, you remember? This case, obviously, it's a murder by poisoning. It happened on a cruise ship, and the defendant is a lawyer surnamed Drake. It's a case of that. What? Chief, you seem to think that you're the defendant in this case. I'm standing far from the center. Even if you got the person wrong, you should think you're the defendant. That's not the point. If there's something wrong with what I said, yes, there isn't a single part of your statement that is correct. Oh. What should I do? Can this grandpa prosecutor really make it? Well, that prosecutor has turned the opening into a mess. This won't do. We can use this chance to impress the judge. The prosecutor's unreliable, use your speech to steer the trial back on. No, we should leave it off track. He's not even talking about our defendant. He's talking about something that, has nothing to do with this case. So, let's just leave it there. Give it a try then. I've seen the trial procedure many times. What should I say now is...
Objection!
The prosecution statement seems to partly deviate from the facts. This should honestly just be a mistrial at this point, really. Regarding the defendant, the details of the case, please allow the defense to make corrections. Objection sustained. Defense, you may go ahead. First, it's in the opening here. We're here to try a murder case. My client, the defendant Plum Swift, is suspected of killing Pine Camel, a ghost hunt live streamer. Is that correct? But you said finally matches the information I have. I can understand a live stream, but what is Ghost Hunt live stream? The Ghost Hunt live stream is a popular format in Japan and South Korea, similar to ruin exploration. These streamers explore eerie places to capture supernatural events. It's called a Ghost Hunt live stream. In recent years, with the development of major video platforms, there have been many people live streaming ghost hunts. Here's a poster for this ghost hunt streamer. The drawing depicts his appearance during the live stream. I think I've seen this post before. It was posted by the victim not long ago. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. Spooky shack. We've got someone here, this crawling thing, the dead guy. Okay. It's August 8th. Okay. 3 p.m. it said, right? And they died. Okay. Still don't quite understand, but simply put, it's just a group of people seeking trouble by exploring risky places, right? It's not entirely wrong. For the crime scene in this case, it's a high-end Chinese-style residential community. What was that subtle hesitation just now? Did you forget the name of the community? You're in my mind, Chief. On this case in the rush, the awkward name is indeed hard to remember. No worries, if you need any information, remember you can check the exhibit. The name of the community where the incident occurred should be there. Okay. Mère de Maison. Murder Mansion? Is there really a community with such a name? Find it weird too, but the news name matches what was on the victim's promotion poster. Seems to be the case. Looks like the defense is well prepared. Impressive. I'm not feeling cheerful despite your kind words. For the next question, I'll ask the defense to help me answer it, please. For example, why was the defendant arrested by the police? You must know the reason, right? Something the prosecution should know best, isn't it? Seems like Prosecutor Hush is seeking help from us. We have to step up and be the good guy. Why do I have to play both defense and the prosecution? In that case, let the defense present evidence. So this entire case is us being like an old-timey cartoon where we're running back and forth playing both the prosecution and the defense, and we're switching hats in between. There's the video where our person pushes them off the cliff. I have a video record of the victim's live stream before his death. The contents is, well, hard to describe. Oh, show me. Isn't this supposed to be video viral? These are all screenshots, and what exactly are these photos? The live video is very long, and it's a lot of repetitive and irrelevant footage. I only took screenshots of the relevant parts. Let me explain it briefly. The time of this screenshot is 444. It's an ominous number in a lot of Asian countries, because 4 sounds like death. Showing the victim storming the house after entering looks like he stumbled. At this moment, the victim appeared to be holding a selfie stick and writing notes at the same time. Subsequent footage is all in portrait mode, and the victim had already found a place to set his phone and disappeared in the screen. There's no movement for the next few minutes. Next time the victim appears on the screen is 4:54, where he exit towards the right side of the frame. See a bruise on the victim's leg caused by the stumble. This is the last time the victim appears on the screen. At 4:55, a pink object appears on the stream. After entering the room, it hesitated and looked around for a while. It's not until 4:57 that it continued moving forward. Then, accompanied by a falling sound, a blurry shadow fell down, and the shadow was later confirmed to be the victim lying dead on the first floor. What was that creature behind? Was there really a ghost haunting this murder house? I can't completely rule out this possibility, but there are no ghosts appearing in this video. The pink object is actually an exaggerated mascot costume, and the person in the costume is my client, Miss Plum Swift. And I just knew it minutes before trial. Why would you dress like a squid at the crime scene? I think the thing's called an octopus. Oh no, it's an ancient god called Cthulhu. Thank you. What on earth is that? In a word, the entire sequence of events above by witnessed by all the viewers watching the live stream. I believe that's why the defendant became the prime suspect in this case and was arrested by the police. Am I correct, Your Honor? Why are we asking the judge? I didn't expect the defense to have such a clear grasp on the case details. As if you're trying to directly prove her guilt. No, that's not what I meant. My defense hasn't even started yet. Nor has the prosecution. That old man is giving you a thumbs up. Great job. Now you're the prosecutor. If it goes on like this, my mind is going to split. Now that both the prosecution and defense are ready, let's proceed. Well, with just these few exhibits is not enough to prove the defendant's guilt. Prosecutor Hush, please summon the witnesses. Wait, the prosecution is still searching for documents. Oh, now witness Miss Orchid Falcon is entering the courtroom. How come you're still searching for documents on site? We took on this case too hastily without the chance to interview the people involved or investigate the scene. Everyone's word and actions in court, along with the exhibits presented, will be crucial. Pay close attention. Got it. Prosecutor, Hush. In procedure, I should introduce myself. Right, yes, do that. Okay, security guard administrator.
不是牛警官吧？那个单枪匹马剿灭600人盗窃团伙的警界传奇呀！
您过奖了，坊间传言总是比真相夸张一点。其实那个团伙只有6个人。况且我已经不是刑警了，孩子渐渐长大了，就想换一份安全点的工作。毕竟孩子他爹还在中东战区维和部队服役，我们不希望他在将来同时失去父母。
Okay, so we got Detective Gumshoe if they left their job and were more competent.
现如今，小区保安才是我的身份，让您见笑了。
哎呀，司法界失去你这样一位人才。
对了，各位也听到了，证人之前是一名刑警，他还是案件的知情者，具备专业的刑侦知识。检方认为由他来代替老傅说明情况更加合理，怎么样
？You've explained nothing, so yes.
收到，那接下来的时间就交给我了，请各位看看这张现场布局图。
Okay, the incident occurred in B2 of the mansion. It's a duplex with a Chinese-style decor and a two-story structure. This also appears to match somewhat that window. No, that's a door. The last 2 owners of B2 died. Expectedly been rumored as a murder house and been vacant for a long time. More than one victim. 3. And we've got some blood here. Mentioning visited the key obtained through prior application. The victim, Pine Kamel, had reserved B2 in advance for a ghost hunt livestream. During the livestream, the audience saw the defendant push him from the second floor to his death and called the police at once. Once the ambulance and police arrived, he was already dead, so the defendant, the only person at the scene, was arrested. The second floor doesn't seem very high yet, but the victim died on the spot. Indeed, at this height, you wouldn't even have serious injuries if I fell, right? If you really fell, you wouldn't be here anymore. Not that simple. About that, please take a look at the photo of the scene taken by police upon arrival. After the former owner's accidental death, a small amount of antique Chinese furniture was left unattended at the scene. Fortunately, the victim hit his head on the corner of the altar table during the fall, which led to his death. That table's doing pretty good if someone fell from the second story onto it, and it's not damaged at all. His head right on the corner. Bad luck. Let me submit these items in it. Wait, you're a witness. Why is the witness providing evidence? I think this should have gone through the police. Objection? By the way, since you're the administrator of the community, gives a brief overview of it. Sure, the incident took place in Murder Mansions, a closed, high-end community built by a foreign enterprise. The number of houses directly managed by me in Zone B is very small. What do you mean small? How many specifically? 3. There are only 3 total. Only 3 in Zone B. They're all large Chinese-style villas, and the community's high-end. As you may know, the density of the population is an important measure of the community's high-end status. No matter how high-end it is, there's still a murder house. In addition, the property is a closed management system requiring non-owners like the defendant to register for entry and exit. Therefore, it's relatively easy to trace the personnel involved in this case. I have a report here for your reference. How did our defendant get in, then? Oh, she's remarks, weirdo. Okay. Are we going to ignore the obvious bamboo deer who signed out? He already had a band-aid on his knee. Why did he have a band-aid on his knee? Because we saw from the live stream video, he had hit his knee, so he went and put a bandage on it. I appreciate this. Okay. I think a lot more pieces of evidence all of a sudden. I'm a bit lost now. Don't worry, apart from collecting evidence, we can also gather testimony. With the testimony of the witness, we can gather more information. Once the witness starts testifying, the significance of each exhibit may change based on their statements. Right. If I want to help Plum clear her name, I need to find evidence that proves she's not the murderer. The witness, based on the current evidence, is the defendant really the only person who had the opportunity to commit the crime? Provide more detailed explanations. Sure, allow me to report on the reasons for the defendant's arrest. Well, we can already prove that they weren't the only one there at that time. Okay, at 4:50 p.m. on the day, the defendant, dressed in a bizarre outfit, walked into Zone B of the community and crossed paths. Shortly after the defendant got in, the police arrived. As a security guard and former police officer, I accompanied them at once. We climbed the external stairs of B2, broke the door, found the defendant tied up on the second floor. Wait, tied up? So you're saying they tied themselves up after committing a crime and just stayed there, okay? Per the autopsy, the victim died when the defendant pushed him from the second floor, causing his head to hit the altar corner. Based on the condition of the scene, it can be deduced that no one tampered with the area after the victim was pushed off. During the on-site interrogation, the defendant also admitted to pushing someone off, so he arrested her on the spot. Indeed, the logic is clear and flawless. Thanks to the professional detective, I suddenly see the light. Things I didn't, remember, all came back to me. After hearing this testimony, does the defense have any thoughts? I have two questions. First, the bizarre outfit you mentioned is this one. What a masterpiece, huh? The defendant walked into Zone B dressed like this that afternoon. First, I saw a strange creature moving toward here from afar, then trying to break into the community. Without hesitation, I intercepted that thing and realized it was a human wearing a strange mascot costume. If she hadn't been making a fuss there, I would have taken out a tranquilizer gun for wild animals. Yes, why do you have that? That doesn't sound like something a security guard needs. It took a lot of effort for me and investigating officers to strip this costume off the defendant. Custom-made 360-degree mesh structure on the head that wouldn't obstruct the insider's vision. The outfit seems to have something strange on it, I'll examine it. So it's got a patch, it's got a key, and you can see around because of this mesh, okay? Okay, I got that part. Another question. If what the witness said is true, there's the possibility that the defendant accidentally pushed the victim. This would significantly affect the nature of the case. We admit that the defendant accidentally pushed the victim and it led to his death, admitting she's the murderer. Of course, the charge of negligent homicide is much lighter compared to intentional homicide when it comes to conviction. I'm entrusting you with a not guilty defense. I can't back down on this issue. Defense is the right to question the witness. Please allow me to question the testimony. Okay, it looks like it's the exact same, press, present, object. Okay, asking questions will not diminish the judge's impression. So we can push, but, okay. So at the very least, we're not at the point yet where pushing on the wrong thing gets us penalized. This game's been out for March, April, May, 3.5 months, and they're not sued yet. When a keyword is collected, the witness's full original testimony is displayed. When the same testimony is clicked again, a cross-examination of that statement will be indicated. For identifying a testimony that contradicts, okay. So we can look at each of these. Rather than like in like Ace Attorney where you click through, so we can look at each of these specifically. Okay.
Hold it!
This seems already the same as the picture when the police arrested the defendant. Yes, yeah, cautiously, aside from taking the defendant, everything at the crime scene remained as it was. $450, does that line up with... That does. Okay.
Hold it!
Okay. She said enter, but we do have proof that someone exited slightly after.
Hold it!
Hey, you're the one who found... Oh, no, the people on the live stream called the police.
Hold it!
External stairs. Wasn't there an entrance on the first floor? It's a bit complicated. That's not really the focus of the case. Simply put, due to years of neglect, the door on the first floor was rusted shut. We had to enter through the second floor. So we immediately found the defendant on the second floor when we entered. The defendant, what was her condition at the time? She was entangled on the staircase railing in her bizarre outfit, a rather eerie state, unable to move. Police took a while to rescue her and almost alerted the fire department.
Hold it!
Okay, so that's their blood. Okay.
Hold it!
So we do serve as the basis for the police response match the defendant's own testimony. We really suspected the extensive coverage of the clothing might indicate the possibility of someone impersonating, but the defendant immediately identified herself on the screen, which greatly helped the police. This here doesn't match with this photo, I don't think. Let's see if we can confirm it. Because if this is top-down view, then their body should be here and not here. Another... Yeah, because this stuff's hanging off the balcony, right? And the balcony, we can see, is here. But that's hanging off the balcony, that's here, table, their body should have been there. Let's try
Objection!
this. I ask you a question. You believe the defendant who admitted to the pushing is the sole suspect since no one tampered the scene afterwards? Yes, the defendant's condition prevented her from tampering with the scene. Also, if he hit his head on this side, then why is he over here? The police inference that the victim was pushed from the second floor, hit their head on the table, and died. Given the position of the body in the alt table, that's impossible. The body fell on the right while the bloodstains on the left. They were on totally different sides. At just one floor's height, I don't think the body could have hit the altar table hard enough to change its angle. There's another conspicuous issue with the photo we're discussing. The blood around the body is minimal. Is this what you'd expect from someone who fractured their skull on a table? Maybe someone deliberately manipulated the scene before police arrived. That is indeed hard to rule out. After hearing the defense's argument, I also find this scene photo very suspicious.
Objection!
Prosecutor, do you have any opinion? Your Honor, Officer Falcon, I haven't caught up with you thinking, can you please help me refute it? I acknowledge the contradiction by the defense, but doesn't undermine the conclusion reached by the police. Because it means that the body shifted in direction relative to the altar table before the police arrived. This does not change the conclusion that the defendant was the only person present at the scene. But the defendant was entangled in the staircase and didn't have the ability to tamper with the scene. Whether the defendant was entangled in the staircase railing before the victim's death is something we cannot prove. Yeah, we don't have any pictures of that. Given the victim's limited fall height, there's also the possibility they'd survive for a short time after. What if the victim moved the altar table after he fell? During the struggle, he accidentally moved the table. I feel like the prosecutor needs to be proving more than us just disproving stuff here. Okay, stronger testimony. Hopefully we can finish this up in about the next 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the last demo. Yeah, okay, the first floor is sealed up. The lock on the second floor is faulty. Once closed, it'll lock itself at once. You have to use a key to enter exit. Okay, then how did the defendant enter? Oh, okay, they had two keys. No forced entry. Okay. Can the lock be submitted? Yes, luckily for you, I brought the lock and the whole door with me, in fact, here with me. Oh, they did exactly that. Okay, great. Yeah, we're gonna call that lock-picking lawyer. Else.
Hold it!
Securely attached. Okay. Okay, so his keyring was under his body, and hers was with her wrapped up in the costume. Yeah, Beatrice did it. So I'm pretty sure we'll go through all of these. I'm pretty sure we just have to say that someone else was there at that same time.
Hold it!
Explosion-proof glass. Okay.
Hold it! Hold
Wait,
it!
hold on. Okay.
Hold it!
So this lock is just here because. Okay. I feel like the defendant should not be allowed to just, like, have random outbursts in the middle of this. Okay. So if we go here, can we present this?
Objection!
Okay. According to this, there's a person named Bamboo Deer who entered. This person left just after the incident. In that case, the police cannot rule out the possibility that he entered the crime scene to commit the crime. This person couldn't be a suspect, so I didn't mention it. Why couldn't they be a suspect? It's about timing. Let's review the contents of the live stream. The moment the viewers witnessed the defendant pushing the victim off was 4:57. This visitor left the community at 4:56. Seems you get these two events occurred almost simultaneously. And there's no third key. Let's say this person did enter B2, so what? The video is completely revealed the moment the defendant committed the crime, a fact that cannot be erased by any interference. If your assertion is that the defendant is completely innocent, then the incident of the defendant causing the death must never have happened. Yeah, you can't just write any time on the exit sheet, right?
Objection!
The video didn't record the moment of the crime. The defendant in the video was someone else in disguise. I don't think it's that one. The victim was still alive after being pushed off. I've been wondering this because if we look back at this, you can see their bloody knee, which has been patched off. We can't look at this. Okay. We look at the key on you. That key doesn't look like it matches that lock, just saying. So we have proof that they went and bandaged themselves. Let's see. So if they fell there, okay, so we got bloody knee at 44, bloody knee at 54, and 55. And then again at 57. So you're telling me they stood there for 2 minutes before they fell. And we don't know the judge's age, and they're just called the judge. We don't even know his name. Oh, and also he's 84, the new prosecutor. The video didn't record the moment of the crime. The defendant in the video was someone else in disguise. The victim was still alive after being pushed off. Okay, which of these helps our defendants? The defendant in the video was... I don't think it's this, because that implies they took off their costume, which seems like it would be a giant pain. And I don't think they would do anyway, so I don't think it's option B. I feel like 1 is maybe the most viable. It seems like they're very adamant that the fall killed them immediately. Pine Camel's already dead, and it was his body that fell. And even if the defendant admitted that she pushed down the victim, it wouldn't constitute murder. Yeah, the judge is this mysterious person.
Objection!
Blind spots. So here's where they fall the second time. I mean, the only time that we have blind spots is here, where they're actively falling, and they're clearly not being pushed off. Their head's blocking it here, but they're here. Oh, I almost accidentally clicked present on that one. Can we prove... Okay, so you have knee highs there. Okay, it's still knee highs there. This time, there's like a 2-minute gap. And if you were tangled up here, where... That was also 6 minutes from them falling to them setting up the camera. I guess it's this one. We can't actually see who's pushing them at that time, right? We can't see who's there. We can't see who's falling. So it's probably one of these two then. Let's go with this one, I guess. And we are going to have to stop this one shortly because we are at the hour mark. But let's just see how they respond to this. Video records more than the defendant pushing the victim. Just a moment before the victim appeared on camera. If the live stream was dead before the defendant entered, how do you explain this footage? The one live streaming was his dead body. I mean, it's probably that the video is pre-recorded, because we can see that they had they had bandaged their knee. Yes, it's advanced AI. Is it actually the last option? We actually don't have much in terms of footage after this, because we can't see them actually after this point. After they set it up, we don't see anything about them for the next 7 minutes. Just for fun, let's do this. Why do you have why do you understand once we do stuff, but before you didn't understand anything? Blood in some of those covered up by the upper part of the screen not captured on camera. Person camera must have been someone else disguised as the victim during the live stream. Killed the victim, then disguised as the victim for this live stream. I don't know if I like this case.
Objection!
I'm glad we haven't had to interview our defendant. We're basically just arguing that Bamboo Deer had opportunity and saying that we should have the right to examine them. Are we gonna have a costume change? Yep, okay. Cool. We chased out your witness. I think we win. That's how it works, right? Okay, they're declaring a recess, and we're gonna have to cut this one short here, because we are at the 1 hour mark. I mean, this one, unlike Mirage Noir, is much more of a Ace Attorney clone. I'm not sure if there'll be actual investigation or if it's all just gonna be courtroom stuff. But in terms of like sound design, graphics, everything is pretty good. Can we look at the frame where the shadow is falling? Sure. It's the final frame of this. The door is still open, so someone could come in. It like, it has a very hard stop on the left. Also, I don't know how your body is shaped like that. And if we cross-reference it with anything else, there's nothing really there. It looks like the costume with the... Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. It's got all the, like, the little bits on it. The thing I'm still waiting for is when did they patch up their knee?